But it's something to do with...
A lot has been made about his voice. Now, you came up with that, didn't you? You worked hard, you produced the voice that you then sent to Steven Spielberg, and he got... Some people have said it was startling when they first heard come up with that voice. The hardest thing, I guess, must be to just keep hold of it. Is it true that you did stay in character for the whole filming? Were you Lincoln throughout the filming? You obviously stay in character. I know other people you've worked with. Steven Spielberg says that you talk to him as Lincoln. It must be draining for you emotionally to be that character, to be somebody else, for all that conscious of being asked about the way you perform, the way you prepare. Does it irritate you, though, the way that it's often portrayed?
The truth is that anyone that...
Consider you to be one of the best film actors in the world. Why aren't you doing more? You love it.
I have a slow rhythm.
You obviously value your privacy enormously. Do you like to sort of step into the limelight and then just step back again, and for a substantial period of time? You don't like stepping into the limelight. You are potentially, a lot of people think, you possibly could be winning your third Oscar. As I said, that would be history in the making. No other man has had 3 Best Actor Oscars. So you cut too fast then? Too much, too fast when you first came to power?
What happened?
What you're saying.
I didn't actually say it was a mistake. I was just describing what we've...
You did say it was a mistake. In an interview in the House magazine, you said if I was going to be self-critical, this reduction in capital spending when we came into coalition government, I think we all realise that actually... What people want to know, and as you say, it is crucially important, but what people want to know is what is going to happen.
Correct.
We need new ways. Do we need new ways?
Yeah, there are
Do we
3
need
ways.
to rethink it? I mean, we've got the budget coming up in March, obviously, and there's been a chorus of voices just in the last few days, as you well know, saying that it is time to slow the austerity drive. Very clear. Your message is steady as she goes, more of the same.
My message is that you can be very...
There's no change. I mean, we've even got people like the IMF's chief economist who's saying, expending infrastructure projects, as the Mayor of London says, time to pour a lot more money into those.
You've got one of the largest infrastructure projects in Europe, never mind the United Kingdom, in London already, Crossrail. Tomorrow we're announcing the bottom line. We're absolutely not going to change course in pay...
Problems ahead you are anticipating now because of this in-out referendum that David Cameron has promised. A huge mistake?
Look, my own view...
Prime Minister is putting British jobs at risk, to satisfy his own party, something a lot of them have been clamouring for?
Well, you should ask him and get him...
But is that what you think, privately? There are an awful lot of businesses. I mean, the business community is pretty divided on this issue, isn't it? And there are a lot of businesses who actually would welcome some sort of... And is why you, personally, have had such a big U-turn on Europe. I mean, it was only 5 years ago that you were calling for this in-out referendum on Europe.
We've legislated for a referendum.
No, but that's with fundamental changes. That's what you've legislated for.
That's exactly what our manifesto said.
No. That's what your manifesto said in 2010, but not in 2008. And you wrote an article about it.
Don't rewrite history. Can I just...
No. All I'm doing is quoting from you. You said that in February 2008, it's time to pull out the thorn, heal the wound.
Do you remember what we were doing in 2008?
I do, absolutely. But time for a debate politicians have been too cowardly to hold for 30 years. Is it not? It was a debate that needs to be held.
You make quite a serious allegation that somehow we've changed. I've been absolutely clear. The Liberal Democrats have been absolutely clear. The British people...
has very much thrown down the gauntlet on this, hasn't he? And he's said, if I am Prime Minister, this referendum will happen. So is that for you a deal breaker if there's any future coalition?
If he's Prime Minister with a majority Conservative government, he can do...
something that a lot of people, according to the polls, actually want.
I think...
achieve those priorities that you outlined a moment ago. I mean, would you negotiate in any future coalition with either Labour or the Conservatives?
My own attitude...
whether you would keep your options open or whether you would categorically
I would do exactly what I said last time, which is that...
So you would have no philosophical objections to working with Ed Miliband, for example. I mean, there's been some reports in the recent weeks that, relations have been thawing between the pair of you.
It's not, I mean, I've never, ever seen...
individual thinking something of the other when you have to work together in a coalition. Of course it is. Ed Miliband?
Well, the attitude of working together in the national interest with politicians you don't necessarily agree with, because that's what... You can take it as a yes, that I will always...
I mean, your own personal ratings, they're not good at the moment, are they? 69% think that you're not doing a good job as a party leader. That was one of the most recent polls. I mean, I know we're looking into a crystal ball slightly here, but if in the future it came to a change of subject slightly, I mean, we've been talking to our Malian guests behind the scenes, I know, this morning. What more can Britain do you think? Should we be more involved?
Well, we are giving the French the military support they need, the aircraft they've asked for. But
Question. I mean, you have your regular Nick Clegg phone-in now, don't you, on a radio station in London? And one of the issues that was raised this week was the issue of your own son's education. You've spoken in the past about the great rift in our education system, the corrosive damage that it does to society and to the economy. Yet it seems you could possibly be sending your own child to private education, out with such big statements about the corrosive impact on society.
I think...
Nick Clegg, thank you very much. Now, over to Sian Lloyd for the news headlines.